Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash. Double lines to the elders of GMS rule well. Peace, salutations to like Akim in the four corners, percent truth, sincerity. Peace be unto you and Shalom. All right, this is Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." So it says, "Woe" means destruction, and now the bloody city would be America. This was founded on blood. They killed, countless Israelites, that were already here, and even more Israelites when they came over to the wilderness while we were in Africa and brought us over here. Killed so many died on the way to the shores of this bloody city. So many people died in this bloody city. This is a city where it's a mixed multitude of all nations. They all gathered together. And when you have different nations, nobody really got each other's best interests at heart. Because you're another nation. Why would I, be cool with you? You see how Jacob and Esau were in the womb together and they were wrestling. Different nations are supposed to have their own land and they're supposed to be divided. They're not supposed to come all together and just live in just one land. But ironic, it's one specific race or nation that rules over this land, and that's Esau Edom. So you got to abide by his house and his rules. And it says full of lies because this education system is full of lies. They're not telling you or teaching you anything. They teach you homosexuality and all this other stuff is good. They teach you, the earth is millions of years old. Dinosaurs were killed by meteorites. We evolved from apes and monkeys or whatever, stuff like that. So it's full of lies. Reading on, it says, the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. So what does that sound like? That sounds like there's war and battle. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. So there's going to be a lot of killing. You got the Georgia Guidestones that says keep humanity under, what is that? 500 million? That is a lot of people to be killing. Keep humanity under 500 million. That means a lot of people are going to get killed, murdered, have their wigs peeled back. Before ultimately this place is completely destroyed. They're going to be, tripping over corpses. That's how many bodies is going to be. Verse 4, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. And this is spoken about by John the Revelator in Revelations chapter 17, which I'm going to get real quick. This is Revelation 17 and verse 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying, unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And I'll skip to verse 15 to show what that many waters is. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. So those waters are people. That's what those waters is in Revelation 17:1. So when it says it sitteth upon many waters, meaning a lot of people, a lot of population around here. Reading on. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And that's the lies. All these philosophies. Going back, Nahum 3 and 4 from the top, it says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. That means you be exposed when you're because a skirt is designed to cover a woman's private parts. When a woman's skirt is upon her face, then that means her ass, titties, pussy. Excuse me for the words, but her private parts are exposed for the whole world to see. Reading on, and kingdoms thy shame. I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? So Nineveh, again, is another symbolic name for America, because the Heavenly Father doesn't use the actual word America in the scriptures. The Most High, that's not how the Most High talked to, us through his prophets. We have a very distinct the Hebrew language is very, very unique. It's actually it's a lesson of its own without getting too deep. But there's a lot of, wordplay and symbolism. I'm gonna grab this in Hosea chapter 12, verse 10. It says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes. So that's what a similitude is. That Nineveh is laid waste. Nineveh is a similitude referring to America. By the ministry of the prophets. So the Most High uses similitudes. Words that are quite similar but not quite. As when speaking to and about America. So America is going to be a place that's going to be laid completely waste. There's not going to be anybody actually going to be inhabiting America once it's finally laid waste. And how is it going to be laid waste? It's going to be laid waste by thermonuclear destructions. You see all these other nations, they're beating the war drums, they're enriching themselves in materials that are used to create nuclear weapons. That's why America is going over in other countries and trying to regulate how much, they can stockpile in certain minerals and material, because they understand that ultimately it's going to be used against them. Notice these other countries, they're not worried about, Iran or other places getting nuclear weapons. Who's concerned about all these other nations getting nuclear weapons? It's America, because America understands they're the one that's going to be hit with them the most. This is a place. Actually, matter of fact, Israel also is concerned. But guess what? Israel is going to be hit as well. But, however, it's not going to be. It's going to be habitable. Israel as a place has to be cleansed. You have a lot of rats in our land, and it's a rat infestation. And how do you eliminate rats? You gotta You know, you got to get down to the root of it. You got to, exterminate those, little, dirty, you know, hook nose, you know, pot tea head wearing, rats. They got to be, put out the land. But however, you are going to have men that's going to actually be. Uh, Let me grab it. This is Ezekiel chapter 39. Ezekiel 39 and verse 14. It says, I'll start with verse 12. Ezekiel 39 and 12. In 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them. And it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith Yahweh Elohim. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. So it's going to be a lot of people getting buried. Why? Because there's a lot of people that's going to be getting killed. So this place that we are in, Babylon, it's going to be completely, wrapped. Nobody's going to be picking up bodies from this place. But in other parts of the world, yes. Because everybody's not going to, die by the thermonuclear missiles. You're going to have some people that's going to get just straight up, head chopped off, killed by a wild beast, what have you, and not completely eaten. On that note, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders, GMS, well. Peace, salutations, and shalom.